Dungeons & Dragons boast a vast array of beasts to throw at your unsuspecting heroes, but all too often the monster manual lacks the crucial flavour text to instruct devious DMs how to properly employ these monsters. Consequently, I've decided to look at some classic monsters and infer from real life examples to provide guidelines towards the proper implementation of the creatures within your campaign. Let's kick things off with the iconic Owlbear. Owlbears are large, aggressive monstrosities covered by a furry, feathery hide and equipped with razor-sharp claws and beaks. Their exact origins are unknown. Some claim they result from the demented machinations of a long-forgotten mage, others swear they're native to the Feywild, the home plains of the mischievous Fey. No matter where they came from, owlbears can currently be found stalking the Feywild and material plane, generally within temperate forests. Now let's try and compare owlbears to the real-life animals they are based on, owls and bears. Evidently owlbears are carnivorous, but I imagine they incorporate a wider diversity of foodstuffs into the diet than expected. Most bears heavily rely on vegetable matter, and owls often eat invertebrates, so don't be too surprised if you find an owlbear digging for tubers or earthworms. It's less energy intensive than chasing down gnomes. Much like bears, owlbears don't care much about the state of the meal, happily consuming decaying carcasses. However, when food is plentiful, owlbears may only consume energy-rich portions of prey, such as the skin and brains, leaving the grisly remains behind for scavengers. More interesting is the matter of excretion. Assuming owlbear digestive tracts closer resemble that of owls than bears, they may regurgitate pellets containing the indigestible remains of food. Intrepid adventurers may wish to dissect said pellets to determine what the local owlbear population is consuming. Owlbears, like both of their namesakes, are fairly solitary creatures only coming together to breed or take advantage of a predictable glut of food. Outside of the breeding season, owlbears will not stake out a territory, but rather roam in search of food. Highly aggressive creatures, owlbears will fight and even kill other carnivorous species regardless of the opponent's size, or indeed if it is a fellow owlbear. Weighing in at a whopping 680 kilograms, owlbears are far too large to nest within trees, but will construct burrows with their claws to rear young and hibernate within. Owlbear reproduction likely mimics that of owls, with small clutches of 2 to 3 chicks at a time, with one chick dwarfing the others in terms of size. However, whether or not these chicks are laid as eggs or as live-born is unclear. Both parents will work together to bring the young food, including weakened but still alive prey, which will allow the chicks to practice the kill. Once fully grown, the young are kicked out and the family disbands. However, it is a rare occurrence that the entire clutch will survive this far, as the largest chick generally kills and eats its smaller siblings. Much like bears, owlbears will hibernate in winter. As previously mentioned, owlbears are unrelentingly ferocious and so will never retreat, even if it is outnumbered or injured. Although dim-witted, owlbears have excellent senses and so can easily track injured party members across large distances if it could result in an easy meal. It is very hard to surprise an owlbear, but approaching one from downwind could do it. Unsurprisingly, owlbears prefer to hunt at night, but can be encountered at any time of day. Use the owlbear's enormous size to its advantage, charging and pinning players so it can tear into them. Finally, if the owlbears are breeding, consider having its mate enter the fray mid-fight. In this scenario, the owlbears may opt to drag the smallest party member away for the chicks to kill, rather than deal with the whole party. And that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for listening, and please do suggest other monsters that I could produce a similar video on.